So when it comes to creating a stadium, we've got it all at the top. As you'll be able to see, you've got them to create. Like always, you can go into Stadium Creator. Now obviously we've covered how to download stuff and just have to actually find the different stuff above. But if you want to create your own stadium, you can obviously go and start your own stadium from absolute scratch, or you can go ahead and use the template stadiums. These are at least just something you can start with and either get some kind of background already in there, if maybe you just wanted to have a certain theme, or you could just generally have a look at them and see what they're built. For instance, we've got Kingdom for All here. We can go in and have a look and just see if it measures anything we're trying to make. And it all depends on what you are personally trying to recreate. If it is just a brand new stadium yourself, if you're making just a different scenery, maybe in a different country, if you are trying to do that, then obviously you can. So as you'll be able to see with this one, you've obviously got the parking lot outside or car park. You've obviously got a big mountain over here. Most of it, if not all of it, should be able to be moved or at least undone. So obviously, like you can see with this one, we can swap it for some rubble. If you really wanted to, you could put that in the moss, and then obviously you can I'm pretty sure, can we, there we go, height. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure, can I actually make it bigger? Orbit, center, place. I thought I could make actually, I suppose I could make it, but is it not? If I back out of this, so leave that there, and then if I was to go back to the so the large mountain is just a large mountain. That's a shame. I thought you was able to actually to kind of modify stuff so it's bigger sort of thing. So like something like this, we could shrink it a little bit to fit into the size that we want. But in general, when you are looking at a stadium, for instance, if we were to start our own, so we can exit out of this one, we're obviously not going to save it. Make sure you want to exit. That one is just something you can do. So if you are looking for a template to start with, and maybe kind of try that to start with more so than creating your very first vision off absolutely nothing, because it is very hard to kind of think of things that work well together. And it's why I say look at the downloads, have a look at what people do, what the items people use, because most definitely it gives you a little bit to work with. So straight and foremost, you'll start with obviously the stadium. That's going to be number one. Obviously you can preview night mode as well, so there's lots of stuff you can do in general. So in terms of the actual pitch and the actual arena, you can't really do too much. There isn't necessarily a great deal. You can obviously go ahead and kind of highlight the banner and maybe shift and kind of bring it up, bring it to the center and stuff like that, but that's really all you can do with the kind of inside of the stadium. And then obviously it's all about the props. That's going to be the main thing. And I think to start with any stadium, you've got to go with the actual stadium itself. You want to go for the level, so you can obviously have like a lot of the classic stuff, and you can have stuff on top of each other as well. So if we went for obviously we go for a classic roof, you can just keep going all the way around. You can obviously go and search if you wanted to, or search by tag. So obviously if you wanted to go that way, then you can. Obviously again, you can go for different seating as well, so there is so much option you can go with. Obviously you've got stands and everything. If you wanted to go for kind of your, there we go, if you want to go for your modern, then obviously that's there as well. There is so much you can go for. Obviously then you've got the different ones, so you've got like the end, that will obviously work really well, and then obviously moving it over, if you can pick it up, pick it up, there we go. You can obviously move it over and kind of figure it out, work it out how you actually get it in. Obviously if you want to get something underneath as well, then these are all going to be plausible depending on how you want it to work. I'm not the greatest at this, I'm kind of just showing you what you can do and what you really should be looking at. Then when you've kind of done all the stadium side of stuff, you've got signs, you've got lots of different kind of attributes that you can go with. And to be fair, there is a solid amount of ground that you can cover with this. I think as far as you can go, I'm pretty sure, is it to, can you keep going after this? I mean, can you do that? I mean, you'd probably best to go until the grass. So when you can kind of start seeing that the map is not necessarily loading, that's pretty much going to be your ending point, really. So if you go kind of like around here, this is going to be the kind of barrier, and you'll be able to see you've got pretty much all that space to kind of work with. So you could obviously kind of have that city sort of vibe. You could obviously go ahead and add lots and lots of different stuff in here. Like we've said, there is so much different kind of landscape landscapes and different sort of things that you can see, from obviously furniture to cars to trees to fences to monuments if you really wanted to. There is a lot that you can kind of get away with here. And then obviously you've got kind of like different ballpark places that you can use, even actual buildings, like full-on skyscrapers almost. There is a lot that you can do with this, which is always really cool. So you can obviously make it into even like an airport terminal. You then obviously have got different animals and stuff. Maybe you're going for kind of like a dinosaur theme one. Always interesting. And as you saw with a lot of the big kind of monuments here, you can see that we do have a lot of kind of like mountainy stuff, which is always going to be good. You can obviously as well rotate stuff. So even if you can't necessarily make it any bigger, you can at least rotate it slightly to work out to what you can kind of go with. It is a shame that maybe you can't necessarily go and zoom things in and zoom things out a little bit. So it kind of makes it, if you wanted to make this like that little bit touch bigger to kind of curve all the way around, you could make it slightly bigger that way. And you could even have it that you make it that it's kind of like above this pitch here, where you can kind of have it like dangled over a little bit more. But it just is what it is when it comes to it. Then obviously when you're looking at saving it, you've obviously just got to save the changes and then just continue on with it. You can obviously edit it and keep coming back, and then you'll be able to use it in your custom matches. Pretty much it is just going to be all custom matches of anything. So like I say, when it comes to creating, definitely take some inspiration. And I think the PC will definitely have a lot of good options that you can do with it. I must admit, it's the only thing that falls behind sometimes with Xbox and PlayStation is the actual amount that you can do on PC. Even if you just slightly modding bits, it does make it so much more realistic at times. So have a look through the top most popular and kind of have a look and see what you can find there. Obviously just have a play around with everything, see what everything works. And like I say, it doesn't have to be full of everything. Space is sometimes good.